Now, as we continue to celebrate Women's Month, we look at the efforts made by women in ensuring transformation in various sectors. Charmaine Mabuza is one such woman, a trailblazer in the predominantly male gaming industry. As a mother, an innovator, a game changer, a philanthropist, she strives to be an integral part of conversations and actions seeking to champion gender equality. She believes that there is a need for greater commitment and more progress on the issues that are important to women. With over 60% of Ithuba's executives being women, Mabuza spearheaded the revitalization of the National Lottery. And guess what? She joins us now to tell us more. Very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I've said so much about you. So many excellent strides that you've made in your line of work. You've also won several awards for your work. First, you run the first female-led national lottery operator. You're the winner of the 2021 Top Empowered Business Leader of the Year and the Social Impact Award from Forbes Women Africa. That is really fantastic work. What does it feel like to be in this space?
Well, good morning to you, Mpo, and good morning to the viewers. Firstly, just to comment about the awards, it's for me an acknowledgement and an encouragement to continue doing the work that we do as Ithuba, and also for my team, it also helps to encourage my team. But I must say that, our industry has not been transformed over the years. I mean, 20% of the industry is still, 20% of the women are in our industry, are represented in our industry. But we as Ithuba has made sure that we lead, and in fact, my executive and our entire executives, about 60% of our executives is women-led. And in fact, all the efforts that we do, even our social responsibility programs, have been deliberately geared to ensure that women are included in the economy and also in the business itself on the main seat of the table. It's been a difficult journey, but a journey that has been very natural for me as a women leader to lead and make sure that there's these changes. And yeah, it's been a while, but I mean, one has to walk the talk if you are given the opportunity. I too was given that opportunity. So it is imperative for me to open doors for other women as well.
You speak about opportunities that you open up. We know that you have done a lot of work in terms of giving people opportunities, especially when it comes to what we saw recently playing out in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. Several entrepreneurs in South Africa were badly affected by that chaos, leaving them to perhaps some not ever being able to reopen business, especially in an unprecedented time like COVID-19. Talk to us about some of your contributions in that space.
Yes, I mean, what happened in KZN in recent times was, in Gauteng was a tragedy. And in fact, we were directly impacted because our own retailers, the ones that carry our terminals, shops were closed down. So we really felt the impact. In fact, we had about 700 of our own equipment that were destroyed. But then what we saw is that the retailers themselves were really affected by that. We've put in a program where we really help small entrepreneurs and small businesses, and particularly women-owned businesses. In fact, we started a grant funding initiative which has granted funding up to the value of 15 million to about 80 entrepreneurs and women and youth entrepreneurs that can help them generate income and understand how to run business and understand how to keep afloat during this particular time. We've also assisted in terms of education and programs. We partnered with very reputable institutions like the UJ, like Gordon's Institute, where we put together programs where we actually have more than 100 female entrepreneurs have participated or gone through this program per se. It's really, for us, it just comes naturally that we've got to roll up our sleeves and make sure that we do something positive for the communities that we serve, because we work within the communities. And I believe that the National Lottery has become part of the South African DNA. And whenever there's a problem, we've got to make sure that we're in the forefront of assisting and rolling up our sleeves in assisting the communities that we serve in.
Leading the National Lottery Operator is not your first try or stance in business. You were also part of Wiphold, which also comprises of some really leaders, powerful leaders, women leaders who have really risen above the odds. Talk to us then about how you find this balance. I mean, we're in Women's Month. We're highlighting women of significance, such as yourself. You're a mother of 3, you're a wife, and you're also building this personal empire. How on earth are you finding the balance?
Well, I must admit, it has not been easy. I mean, I would be lying to say that, it's been smooth sailing. It is a challenge, when you're raising 3 kids, you're running an organization and a corporate, there's a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders. But what I find is that, one has to be disciplined and consistent in what they do. And strive for perfection. You may never get it right, but you do your best wherever you are. If in the space of being a mother, you do your best in that space. If you are assigned in to be, to balance or to be at work at that particular time, you do your best. You try to perfect it. And I find that it is helpful if you have a very supportive family and an infrastructure that assists you. I've got a very supportive family, so I've been blessed with that. But I'm also aware that I cannot be everything to everybody. So I strike that balance by knowing that I have to give myself time for myself and my family. Otherwise, you'll just run your energies too low. And that's what I implore women to do, to learn to balance, to give themselves time for themselves as well in the whole process. Otherwise, you find yourself both mentally and physically exhausted. So the trick is really trying to align yourself to a very strong, support system, trying to build a very strong support system.
When it comes to your own personal journey and perhaps some of the key principles that you live by, being a role model as well and making all these significant strides and empowering others, what do you stand for and what do you live by?
Well, firstly, my principles are actually influenced by my own circumstances. I myself, Mpho, had a very difficult upbringing. I suppose like many other South Africans, brought up by a single mom. So I understand those difficulties. So I simply can't turn a blind eye to what is happening in our country. For me, it's about getting involved and knowing and putting myself in the shoes of another person. And that's very important to me, to try and understand the view of the other person who's sitting the other side. So my principles really is just about saying to myself, I may not solve all the problems, but I will do the best I can at that particular moment and do the little that I can, but I'm sure it will make a difference to somebody else's life.
The National Lottery has been a space that has not been left out of controversy over the past few years. We have seen a lot of attention placed on some of the alarming revelations within the operator. How do you then, with your team of competent women, plan on ensuring that the standards are upheld and that there is that level of excellence within your industry?
Well, I must distinguish that the issues have not been focused and shone on the operator per se. We as an operator really have not had any major issues in terms of our ethical and our business processes. In fact, the opposite. We've actually endeared ourselves. I mean, more than ever in the past, since we've taken off the lottery has grown, even in the difficult times of the economy. I mean, that just proves to you that South Africans really love the lottery. We've changed our game portfolio. We're offering now 28 games, the highest jackpot ever in Africa and in South Africa, close on to R250 million. We've paid more than 18 billion rand in terms of revenue to good causes. So we as an operator have really focused on being excellent. And in fact, we've been acknowledged in the world by the WLA as one of the top 5 lotteries, in fact, one of the best lotteries in the world, which puts South Africa on the map, actually, as being one of the countries with the best expert and best run lottery. So to say that I would like to differ, but just to say yes, focus on the lottery has been absolutely positive and in fact has been acknowledged through many, many times about our excellence.
And Charmaine, very lastly, before we let you go, you say South Africans love the lottery. You speak about the many games that you have, and I am one such South African that loves the lottery. Can you give me some insight, just some tiny bit of insight on what the numbers are? You can give me 3, I'll guess the rest, but lead me in.
Well, I wish I knew. People think that we would know about the numbers. Your guess is as good as mine. All I can say to you, please go and play the lottery. Your chances of winning are equally good. And good luck. And I'm glad that you love the lottery. And thank you for being our champion.
Thank you so much for your time. There you have it, the CEO of Ithuba, Charmaine Mabuza.